Make I do small evening exercise. My shirt no fit button self because of big belly.
Are you mad?
Ify baby, na me o.
If I hear my name again for your mouth, thunder go fire you.
Jesus! Who know they respect me for this house as landlord? I go increase their house rent.
His real name was Chinedu, but nobody heard that name anymore. He had buried it beneath something sweeter. Ned. Ned sounded soft on the tongue. Ned sounded like enjoyment. Ned sounded like a man girls could trust without asking too many questions. But indeed, he was a Koromoto man. He didn't joke with his stomach, and he certainly didn't joke with house rent. Tenants feared his knock more than they respected him. But when it came to women, Ned laughed easily, promised freely, and vanished without guilt.
Good morning, sir.
Pretty angel, who you dey look for? Now maybe the landlord.
I am looking for Bernice.
That stubborn girl.
The house he lorded over wasn't built by his sweat. It was an inheritance, a quiet reward from a father whose discipline he ignored and never learned from. And because life had never forced him to earn, responsibility felt optional. As early as 7 a.m., when the compound was still rubbing sleep from its eyes, Ned was already on his feet. Not to jog, not to walk, but to collect rent. He moved from door to door like a debt collector sent by hunger itself. At the first apartment, he knocked sharply. The woman inside opened the door halfway, wrapper still loose around her waist. "Good morning," Ned said flatly. "Your rent?" She frowned.
Landlord, I paid you 2 months' rent just 2 days ago. You said make a balance and when next month reach. This month never even finish.
Ned sighed loudly, as if her words were an inconvenience to his lungs. He mumbled something under his breath, adjusted his slippers, and walked away. At the next door, he knocked again. This tenant didn't even pretend confidence.
Landlord, I beg, they never pay us for work. Once I let enter, I go pay you. Just manage me small.
You said that last week.
I promise.
Ned's face hardened. That excuse don't tire me. Try pay on time this month. If not, start finding where you go pack go. He didn't wait for her response before turning away. And so he went on, room by room, face to face with excuses, apologies, and fear. Some promised, some begged, some avoided eye contact entirely. The truth was simple. Everything Ned had depended on that rent. He had refused to work, refused to build anything of his own, but never refused to torment tenants. Any tenant who paid early was pressured to pay extra, or even for the next month, so Ned could have quick cash. Money he would soon pour into women, drinks, and the soft life he loved more than responsibility. By mid-morning, he wasn't tired from working. He was tired because money wasn't coming fast enough. That afternoon, the sun sat heavy on the compound like a burning iron. No light, no fan, no cool air, nothing but heat and frustration. Inside the house was unbearable, so Ned dragged a plastic chair outside and sat at the front of the compound, sweating, restless, and angry. His pocket was empty, his mind was boiling, his pride was bruised. He folded his arms and stared blankly at the gate, looking like a man who owned a house but not his own life. Then, suddenly, he saw John, one of his tenants who owed him 2 months' rent, walking into the compound with a well-dressed lady. They were laughing, talking freely, and looking too comfortable for someone who owed money. Ned said nothing at first. He only watched them closely, eyes narrowed. John opened his flat, and both of them stepped inside. That was when something snapped inside Ned. He jumped up from his chair and stormed toward John's door. He didn't knock, he burst in mid-anger, his voice already raised. John, so you get money to carry woman about, buy drink, feed her, maybe even lodge her somewhere, but you don't get money to pay my house rent? John froze, clearly embarrassed. The woman looked confused and uncomfortable. Ned continued, pacing the room like a raging landlord.
2 months rent dey your head, and you dey enjoy yourself like saying na your papa build this house. You think say rent na joke?
Voices from other flats started murmuring. Doors cracked open. People were listening. John tried to speak, but Ned cut him off. If you fit spend money on woman, you must fit pay your rent, no be by enjoyment. The lady stood up awkwardly, not knowing whether to stay or leave. The whole moment became tense and humiliating. Ned finally pointed at John. If I no see my money this month, start finding new house. Then he stormed out, still fuming, leaving silence and shame behind. His face was hard, his steps aggressive, and his mind consumed with bitterness. As he rushed out of the building in anger, he was not even looking ahead properly. Suddenly, bam! He bumped hard into Alice, one of his female tenants, who was carefully balancing a pot of freshly cooked soup on her head. The impact made her stagger, and before she could steady herself, the pot slipped. All the soup crashed to the ground. Hot oil splashed, egusi scattered everywhere. The pot rolled noisily across the floor. Alice froze in shock for a second, then let out a sharp cry. Jesus! She bent down helplessly, staring at the wasted food. The very soup she had struggled to cook so her children can eat for 3 days. Tears welled up instantly in her eyes. She stood up, trembling with anger and pain. Landlord, see what you have done. Before Ned could even apologize, Alice grabbed his shirt firmly. You already forced me to pay rent when I didn't even have food in my house. I had to borrow money just to cook this soup so my children can eat for 3 days. Voices started rising around the compound. Other tenants rushed out to see what was happening. Alice was now crying openly. And now you have poured everything away. You must pay me back. You must replace this soup today. Ned tried to pull free, but she held him tightly. You can't keep tormenting people because you are landlord. You will pay for this. The compound was in chaos, shouting, murmurings, and heated arguments everywhere. Ned stood there, trapped between his pride, his anger, and his guilt, but still too stubborn to admit fault.